ITV, certainly the best.
ITV, certainly the best. ITV, certainly the best.
Many thanks again for rejoining us on today's edition of the program Politics Today, reaching you live on independent television and radio. And that's because it's a simulcast. Let's begin the show by looking at some of the trending political stories that we'd love to help you make sense of, and so you can follow up subsequently. And I'm Sonny Duke Okosi, your host on the show. The governor of Kano State, Abba Yusuf, has dumped NNPP after weeks of speculation. The governor says his exit from the party is aimed at fostering peace and unity and does not bear any ill will towards anyone. Kano State Governor Alhaji Abba Kabir Yusuf has formally resigned his membership of the New Nigeria People's Party NNPP. The development was disclosed by the governor's spokesperson Sunusi Bature Dawakin Tofa when he presented the letter of resignation. According to Tofa, the governor conveyed his decision in a resignation letter addressed to the chairman of Diso Chiranchi Ward of the NNPP in Gwale local government area of the state with effect from January 23, 2026. This is, of course, a fallout from weeks of speculation that the governor was on the verge of leaving the NNPP, which to a large extent brought some disagreement between him and his leader, talking about Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso. Okay, let's quickly move up a little bit. Rivers impeachment suit put on hold as court adjourns indefinitely. The adjournment the court held would allow the Court of Appeal to first determine the issue before it. And Oyigbo High Court of Rivers State in Port Harcourt has adjourned indefinitely the suit filed by Governor Siminalayi Fubara and his deputy Ngozi Odu, challenging the impeachment process initiated against them by the Rivers State House of Assembly. Justice Florence Feberesima of the Oyigbo High Court took the decision after being informed that two separate appeals had been entered in respect of the matter. The adjournment the court held would allow the Court of Appeal to first determine the issues before it. Okay, yeah, so much happening in Rivers State, and there is no end in sight. Let's take you to our next story. Reps Minority Committee confirms alterations in the gazetted tax laws. It said the current evidence was sufficient to warrant a deeper investigation to ensure accountability for the affront against the legislature. The House of Representatives Minority Caucus Ad Hoc Committee on Tax Laws on Friday said it had confirmed that illegal alterations were made to some tax reform laws passed by the National Assembly and assented to by the President, raising concerns about legislative integrity and constitutional breaches. Of course, this has been one issue that has been at the front burner in recent times with denials and counter denials, but it's coming to light that indeed there were alterations in the gazetted national tax law. Anyways, let's go into our package today. My first guest in the studio is a former member of the House of Representatives, former special advisor to state governor, former senior special assistant to the state governor, and the immediate past former federal commissioner of the Code of Conduct Bureau. I'd like to thank very especially Honorable E.J. Agboanyima, Honorable Ehiozua Johnson Agboanyima, so people will know where the EJ came from. It's good to have you on the show, Honorable EJ. Good to have you.
Long time, my brother.
Yes,
you know,
it's been a while.
Dr. Okoso. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank
Good to have you on the show.
Thank you.
All right, let's
And
begin.
good morning to our viewers out there.
Let's begin the conversation by looking at some of the issues and the politics building up to 2027 and the expected impact on the exercise itself. The issue of corruption has always been at the front burner, but there are concerns that even though it is pervasive in Nigeria, corruption in the oil and gas industry is hydra-headed and it's humongous. You want to help us make sense of that, because I know some of the efforts that you made in driving this conversation, driving engagement and investigation in this regards. What were the outcomes?
Well, going back to when I was in the House of Reps then, 2015 to 2019 specifically, I want to appreciate those who gave me the opportunity, the former Speaker, Right Honorable Dugara, Fami Wadi, and when I moved that motion about the undeclared crude oil that led this country to a global destination, it's mind-boggling. And again, the United States government also gave us very huge support, especially the U.S. Congress and the U.S. Customs. What will shock you is that at that time, after much, intel, we went to U.S. and the U.S. Customs gave us what landed in America. And don't forget, it was 51 countries that the former president wanted to investigate, but that former President Jonathan, which the Tompolo, Mr. Tompolo was part of this, who said that Mr. President must investigate the crude oil theft, because they were always blaming the
militants in the Niger Delta region.
That the real militants.
They are in the IC.
So Tompolo encouraged Mr. President to do it, and at the time, Desiani said no, but Tompolo stood his ground, and at the end of the day, Mr. President yielded and engaged molecular power system, and the molecular power system are engaged an international company based out of Houston, Texas, Lumos, one of the best company in the world that they have the satellite mapping system to monitor every vessel leaving Nigeria, real time. So we went back to US. Now, guess what? The US Customs gave us what landed in the United States, totaling 391 million barrels. And we came back home and we invited NNPC. It will amaze you that they brought Ghana Must Go bags, full of documents. So with my team, we open it, we know what we're looking for. Guess what? In their own records, nothing left Nigeria. Zero. Nothing left this country. But the United States Customs, they gave us politically everything, what landed in the United States. 391 million barrels. That is worth over $18 billion. So, well, at the end of the day, the committee concluded on our submission, submitted to the committee of the whole, and you have to go through it clause by clause, which was unanimously, adopted, and it was formally sent to the executive, because the National Assembly doesn't have the mandate to,
prosecute.
So it is the executive. At the end of the day, we left it at the hand.
Okay, let me ask you this question, Iche. Wasn't that, it's a culture of impunity that will see this happening till tomorrow. But wasn't that sojourn in investigating that graft and exercise in futility against the background that at the end of the day, no one was prosecuted? Millions of taxpayers' monies were spent in carrying out that investigation. I mean, traveling to the U.S., that trip wasn't once or twice. Nothing came out of it.
Traveling to the U.S., it was not funded by, not even National Assembly.
Oh, interesting.
It was self-funded.
Funded.
Okay. I did that. That was part of my contribution to the country.
Okay.
As a former, somebody that have lived in the U.S. or happen to have lived, understand the scope, working with the congressman in the United States as a first African racial lobbyist,
Okay.
Yes. So, but I did all that just to help my country.
But ultimately,
But
those who were
something came out
fingered,
of
they were
it.
not. They were
No,
not.
something came out
prosecuted.
of it, and
Yes.
I want to say that then the former President Buhari did a lot, and a lot of money got returned.
Okay.
But we still have billions. I can tell you, there is another one that I did that will shock you. The NNPC said, in their own record, they got $123 billion. But by the time we investigated, how much was remitted to Federation account? The difference, $81 billion, nowhere to be found. Out of 123 billion, that in their own record, that is another one that, of recent last year, the Senate President, they set up another committee headed by Senator Ned Nwoko, and they approached me to come and help, to coordinate, to help them see how we can, get this money back. And we did an excellent job, and the matter is still ongoing.
Okay.
But I'll tell you, our problems, our predicament, why we are where we are our own worst enemy.
Problems.
Because Nigeria is not broke, Nigeria is not poor. The resources that is meant to do those things, to federal road, healthcare system, educational system, transportation system, has been taken by dubious characters, by the IOC in connivance with Nigerians. So that is just, so you're talking about the, crude oil, there's what we call, this IOC is supposed to pay some money, certain money back to the community, host community. Over $15 billion that is due to the host community have not been paid to the host community, where they make. And are you going to talk about the former Accountant General? The former Accountant General, when I was in the Code of Conduct Bureau, he was investigated. He stole over 211 billion naira.
And he's working free today.
Listen to me, he just got, chieftaincy title not too long ago. I've said this over and over again on different fora, on different media platforms. It's an aberration that you fight corruption, sometimes the corruption fight back heavily because they've stolen enough resources. Your life, they are threatening you. I remember how many phone calls that I got.
Is this not a weakness of the institutions, that are engaged to carry out this fight against corruption, like the CCB, like you talked about, the ICPC, the EFCC, as it were?
Well, I want to thank God that when I got to CCB 2021, before then, poorly funded. But when Mr. President Tinubu came in, I have to appreciate the Senate President and the Chairman of the Appropriation, our friends, some of our brothers at the National Assembly, supported us, especially with the new chairman. We have a new chairman that was committed, dedicated. So we're able to get more funding.
Okay.
I think, looking at what the Code of Conduct is doing right now, I want to appreciate, and at the same time, for the federal government not to forget, if we really want to fight corruption in this country, yes, EFCC is good, ICPC is good, it is Code of Conduct Bureau. Because every public officer have to declare their assets. Every public officer.
All right, let me take you on this point, because you mentioned President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, how his government has given some teeth to the CCB to be able to carry out its constitutional function. 2027 is around the corner. The issues and the politics of 2027 seem to be taking center stage. Do you think the president is distracted by all of this? And how do you see all of this impacting on the election? Because you hear people say the popularity of Mr. President is winning in the north compared to the south. And in recent time, we have seen mass defections of people left, right, center to the ruling party, which has made people to even accuse Mr. President of grooming Nigeria towards a one-party state.
I disagree to an extent, because nobody wants to join or support anything of evil. There are things that, ever since you were born, you want to join the winning team. You want to join those that have succeeded. If you see like people who love soccer, who love, Super Eagles, Man U, Chelsea, Arsenal, and all that, you have some people sometimes supporting one or the other because they love the way they are playing. So if governors now decided to look at the way Mr. President is playing the game, I say, wait a minute, we have to support this man. Let's join the winning team because it's working. Let me tell you one thing, fundamental, one thing that every Nigerians probably are not aware about. And I've said this, but unfortunately, nobody is talking about it. That is what Mr. President said, I think it was last year. And I went back to go and check that statement he made on YouTube. Nowhere to be found. What was it? Let me tell you, Dr. Okoso. In the history of this country, we'll be talking about fuel subsidy removal, fuel subsidy removal, fuel subsidy removal. Those who contested for presidency spoke about removal of fuel subsidy, up to Obi and Atiku, Gwagwaso, and then, Senator Tinubu now becoming a president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He also spoke about fuel subsidy removal. And when he came and he won, the first thing he did is to remove fuel subsidy. But do you know how much have accrued, how much savings Nigeria have benefited? Trillions. But guess what happened? Mr. President did not swallow the money. He didn't give the money back to his family. He gave this money back to each state, 36 states of the Federation, including FCT. Some states got 360-something billion naira. Some got 318 billion naira. That's never happened before. So most states have gotten money than ever before.
So why are the people not having a feel of this money coming from post-subsidy?
Mr. President said, please, all this money that we have saved from fuel subsidy removal, I have given it back to the state governor, the state, so that they can use it to coaching, to build roads, to make life better. He said, but you should ask your governors what they have done with the money. Unfortunately, as the money comes, some governors, that is where the money goes to bureau de change and goes to voicemail. But there are some governors that we were able to identify that have been spending their own resources, money expended to them judiciously. I'm not saying it because I'm from Edo. I will not lie. Hope Governor Hope Uzodinma, he's spending his money. The governor of Lagos State is spending his money in the right place. The governor of Edo, Senator Modokpolo, he's doing what others have not done. Spending the money wisely. So I would say we have more than 12 or 15 governors that have done well in this area. Why did they remove that statement from Mr. President? It's no longer on YouTube. When he said, those people in various states, ask your governor, what have they done with the money that they have gotten? So that's a huge credit to Mr. Governor. So the governors are getting more money than ever. So there's no reason.
The state of the economy as we have in the country today.
There's no reason.
There's no reason for it.
There's no reason for it. No, see, when you point one finger at the center, the other four is pointing out.
So we should hold the state governors accountable.
Yes, every state should talk to their governors. Mr. President have done his part. He has done his part. I work in an agency that oversees, I'm talking about corruption. The corruption in this country is mind-boggling, my brother. What I saw, Mr. President is not on trial. He is not perfect. I am not perfect. Neither are you perfect. It might not be 100%. There's a lot to be done. Yes, I also feel the pain. What is happening?
We've seen this government under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu embarking on projects that people have considered not having immediate impact on the people. Take for example the Coastal Highway, where we even see now in Akwa Ibom State there's been some mobilization about how the road should be constructed in terms of where it's supposed to pass and where it's not supposed to pass. I want to get a comment on that.
Let me ask you something. Did you ever heard about Coastal Highway before? East-West Road is in the Niger Delta.
And is in comatose. Why didn't the president give attention to the East-West Road that has been there for years without attention, but chose to construct another road rolling to trillions of naira? This is misplaced priority. What do you think of this?
No. See, every priority is important. Whether it's in the northern part, the southern part, you must start from somewhere. At least you are doing something. If you start from here today, you move to the other side tomorrow, you will not move further to the other. So at the end of the day, for me, that is progressive, not stagnant. If you have not done this, I was in the Nigeria Railway. I was the board of directors of Nigeria Railway, and I was the chairman of Mechanical Signal Telecommunication. My immediate director from Edo Central, Engineer Okiria, wonderful human being, who became the MD. I can tell you, the railway today that you can see is as a result of those who saw the vision. And Mr. President have also keyed in that railway, the Eastern Railway that have been abandoned. A contract was given, 286 million euro, collected, drawn. The contractor took that money and went to voicemail under former President Buhari. This president has started, they have hit the ground running. In the history of Nigeria, the railway is coming up compared to the way it used to be. So if Mr. President decided to engage or to move in by bringing Coastal Road to bear, we should applaud him. We should encourage him. Sir, when you finish this, we need this. People should be able to speak of their needs. So when I was in the House of Reps, let me tell you what I did. Having a town hall meeting is very crucial. It's not what I want, it is what the people want. So if Mr. President have spoken to some leaders, and some leaders have they woke up, they said, look, people are agitating for development, and he's yielding to their agitation.
Let me ask you this question in all of this.
Yes.
What do you make of this culture where a state chief executive will not continue with the project that he met? He will rather, create his own legacy projects at the detriment of those projects that he met. It's happening at the state level across the federation. It's even happening at the federal level. I mean, using the East-West Road and the Coastal Road as case studies, it points to the fact that we have this culture of non-continuity in governance at the detriment of the people. Now, the people are at the receiving end. Even with more money coming to the states, the people are not feeling it because state chief executives are doing what they like with the resources that are coming to the people of the state in the name of projects who perhaps maybe are gigantic. Some of those projects may not be concluded or completed throughout the 10 years of this state chief executive. What do you make of that as a challenge?
Let me come back home now. You're talking about, continuity. Let's come back to the former governor of Edo State, His Excellency Godwin Enowase Obaseki, who embarked on a Radisson Blu. Billions was expended, dubiously, fraudulently. And you want the incoming governor, the governor that came, not to look into when contractor embellish, put high mark, raise the project to suit their own purpose, to their selfish interest, their greediness. where somebody, consultant fee, what about billions, without doing nothing? Mr. Governor, Senator Monday Okpebholo to continue with that? I think no. Or are you talking about the power plant that few percent they give it to state government when government was the one that spent most of the money? The answer, you should answer that. So for me, look at the Imowa situation. When he said in his own statement that he was building Benin Royal Museum, at the end of the day, he said now it is Imowa. From Imowa to Mowa, few weeks before he left office, with corruption in-depthly. Do you want him to continue with that? So now, look at what the governor have done. In the history of Edo, I was born in this state. Never, no governor, apart from our father, the late Dr. Eso Gbemudi of blessed memory, who did excellently well. Yes, Comrade Adam Ali Oshomole, former governor, also did well. Whether you hate him or like him, Lucky Benedion, His Excellency, also did well in some area. There's no way, even His Excellency, Godwin Obaseki, I cannot just say he failed, in totality. He also did some. But look at the ratio.
Okay.
What was done. But Senator Monday Okpebholo, I was born here. I'm saying today, in the history of Edo and Nigeria, flyover in my own local government, Igbobauha, flyover that I see flyover in America, in London, in Lagos, Abuja. I'm seeing flyover. And when I contested for God, those are the things I was aiming. Okay. And this is a man that is turning the wheel. He's imparting the Edo North, he's imparting Edo South, he's imparting Edo Central. He's doing everything humanly possible to bring dividends of democracy to the union of the people. Let's
quickly conclude this on Boije Agbonhima. What is this about concerns that federal appointments are lopsided in Edo State and is tearing the APC apart? Because I saw a video that you did that went viral on this.
Well, it's a sad situation, That's why I said, this is an aberration.
What's the level of aberration?
Because 3 ambassadorial given to Edo. I would have expected 1 to Edo North, 1 to Edo Central, 1 to Edo South. But unfortunately, the 3 ambassadorial nominees were all domiciled in Edo North.
But these are Edo people, all the same.
Fine. Edo people, but we have different senatorial districts. We have different constituency. We have different local government. That's why we have 3 senatorial districts: Edo North, Edo South, and Edo Central. They should have, each senatorial district should have benefited from it. Now, we have South-South Development Commission. The 2 directors all in Edo North. We have Benue River Development Authority in my own local government here. Or 2 chairman executive director domicile in Edo North. The minister is my very good friend, a wonderful brother working hard.
Also from Edo North.
Also Edo North. Special advisor to the president. Edo North. Why? Because somebody is speaking for them.
Okay.
Who is speaking for Edo South? Who is speaking for Edo North?
I'll pass it there because
the governor is over at the if the governor was here at the Senate, it will not happen.
All right. Let's leave it at that. We'll have you here some other time. It's still Politics Today on Independent Television and Radio on Boije Agbonhima. Thank you so much for coming. We'll take a break. I'll be back with you with more. Our next set of guests are here already. Stay tuned. Thanks again for rejoining us on the program Politics Today on Independent Television and Radio. The issue of terrorism and banditry will continue to be at the front burner unless something urgent is done. Perhaps the approach being taken by subnational government is encouraging terrorism and banditry. In recent times, we've also heard about those involved in terrorism financing, and it doesn't look like something is being done to bring them to justice. Pre-2015 general elections, there were allegations of highly placed individuals inviting bandits from different countries to come into Nigeria and scuttle the country if former President Jonathan does not relinquish power. Fortunately, he did relinquish power, and these guys have remained in the country. The former governor of Kaduna State was fingered in that issue. And in recent times, the likes of the governor of Bauchi State has also been at the front burner, allegedly as one of those involved in terrorism financing. House of Representative member in Sokoto State is also there. Even other leaders in the north have been fingered in this dastardly act that is bringing Nigeria to its knees. In today's program, we'll look at the issue of tackling terrorism financing and other issues head on, and what is the best approach amidst the debate on granting amnesty to bandits and terrorists. Of course, we've seen in Katsina State where the governor released about 70 bandits. What's that for? Amidst the conversation of the challenging monster of banditry and terrorism in the country. A new batch of corps members are supposed to be undergoing their orientation, but parents are worried and concerned against the background of some of the kidnappings that we've seen in recent times. We can't forget in a hurry what has happened in Kaduna State, where worshippers were picked up from their worship centers by terrorists. These and more we'll be looking at in the next few minutes. Don't forget our studio line will also be open so you can call and be part of the conversation. My guest, Professor Anthony Ijewere, is a professor of business administration, public affairs analyst, and a political analyst. Thank you for joining us on the program.
It's a pleasure to be here.
We also have here Comrade Roy Oriabo, politician, public affairs analyst. Thank you for joining us on the program.
Thank you for having me.
Roy, one would expect that with all the information available about the impact, the destruction, the killings, the maimings that we have seen, this issue of amnesty, this issue of releasing bandits and terrorists at will is not something that any right-thinking government would give consideration, but we're seeing it happening. You want to take it up from there?
But if a system or a government is overwhelmed, what do you expect? I believe the subnationals, the governors who are now saying, well, let's give them amnesty, they are overwhelmed. They have taken time to evaluate, dissect the whole issue and say, no, we cannot continue like this. If that is the solution, we should encourage them to do it. Because we can't be grandstanding when we know we don't have what it takes. Over 100 persons will be picked in a church on a single day, and we were told those persons trained for about 6 hours, and nobody questioned them. You are telling the governor not to negotiate in their own way. You cannot sit there in Abuja and be telling people in their village not to negotiate. And that was the reason when I listened to the Minister of Defense, when he was giving that order, giving that command that they should not negotiate, the governor should not negotiate with the terrorists. I look at him and say, what are you talking about? You are in Abuja under the AC, in your comfort there. You are telling people in the village. Do you know the pain? Do you know what it is that people who are supposed to go to farm on daily basis can no longer access their farm, and that is their source of livelihood. People who are supposed to go and worship their God genuinely and sincerely cannot do that. You are telling them not to negotiate. Over the years, we have not been able to demonstrate that capacity. As a national government, have not been able to demonstrate that capacity that we can fight terrorism. But we were told countries outside who are not part of us were able to give us that information. They gave us the information that there are persons who are financing terrorism in Nigeria. And the names was adequately released. Nigerian government refused to do anything. We have even seen Nigerians who have also confessed that prior to 2015, that they were sponsoring, they went to nearby countries, they went to the Sahel, they went to the Futajalo, and they put some terrible individuals in this country to undermine the president in case he refused to relinquish power. Then Jonathan, in his wisdom, said, I lost the election, now they can no longer control those persons. Why would the federal government be waiting patiently? What does it take to say, let's look for these persons and question them? Once a system is not being taken care of, it will continue to develop. Because if you look at, in one of my classes in terrorism, that the reason why terrorism succeeds is because they have a financier. And once we can trace that level and say, let's cut their pipe. That is their oxygen. The finance is their oxygen. If we can cut it, you see that they will just... Okay. Now, the Nigerian government have refused to cut it. They keep on encouraging them because of politics. We are telling the governor not to negotiate. I encourage all the whole governors. If negotiation will give you peace in your territory, do it. There is no need grandstanding because you can't fight these people, you are aware. The governor also have information within the state. He's aware that these persons who are in Abuja are telling me not to negotiate. They are not even willing. Okay. By the time people have been kidnapped from it is your state. Kaduna is on the news. You saw what happened in Kaduna. The police were denying nothing like that. The government was denying until the people said, no, our persons are missing. Our mothers are missing. Our fathers are missing. In an arrangement like that, I encourage the governor. Go on negotiate with the goal of negotiation, serious negotiation. There is nothing too big for you to get peace so that you can relax your
let me push you there. Professor Ejewere, let's lap up on this foundation set by Comrade Roy Oribabo. We know from history, negotiating means more negotiations, continuous negotiation, unending negotiation.
Exactly.
Is that a consent to you on this?
No. If you look at the international standards of terrorism, and how the world, especially US and co, how they are curbing terrorism in the world, is total head collision. You know, what do I mean by that? You do everything to wipe them out. Because this terrorism, as we know in the country, started with Boko Haram. And from there, government was negotiating with them, especially with the Buhari government, was negotiating with them and all that. And what happened? Other groups also emerged, you know, other terrorist groups also emerged and all that. And in view of that, it's like, it's now a business, you know, and guess what? Politicians now use them during elections, you know, to carry ballot boxes, cause problem in their states, and so on and so forth. And that is why it's difficult to, you know, to really wipe them out. The scenario you painted initially, that they were out to fight on behalf of Buhari if the election did not favor him, because he made it very clear that if he doesn't win that election, you know, there will be blood will flow like Babu. And when Jonathan threw in the towel, even before the total votes were counted, you know, the guys had no job to do again. Buhari and Rufai said, you have no job to do again, you can go back. And I said, no, we can't go back, we negotiated something, so pay us. And the government was reluctant to do that, and they went into operation, you know, in our various forests. So what I'm saying is that negotiation is not the way out, because if you watch very well what happened in Sokoto when America sprayed some good missile there, you know, most of them took off. Some were even appealing, begging that you know, the government should forgive them. So terrorists, you don't really, if you want to achieve success, you don't negotiate with terrorists. You deal with them. That's the only language they understand. Because negotiation thing is like you are feeding them. And when you are feeding them, the more you feed them, the more groups will emerge. And once the money is finished, they come back again and say, we need more money. They kidnap more people and all that. So I think politicians, especially the financier, they should, if government is serious, if the government at the center is serious, I'm talking about Tinubu's government, those financiers, they should you know, prosecute them, no matter how highly placed they are. But again, I don't know whether they are beneficiaries, and perhaps that's why they are slowing down the process of dealing with these people. I don't think it's the best. And that is why President Olusegun Obasanjo said, former President Olusegun Obasanjo made it very, very clear. He said, that was a few days ago, he said Tinubu should go out there and deal with terrorists. That when he was there, you know, the financiers dealt with them, and even the terrorists themselves, they were looking for where to hide. You know, and that you should go out there and deal with them. That's the only way that farmers can go back to their farm, and Nigerians will have peace. There will be security in the country, and that's a former military general talking. So I think minus politics. The government should remove politics and go out to protect the interests of its people, because Nigeria is a project and people voted the government into power. So the security of lives and property of the people should be uppermost in the heart of the government, and not local politics that is killing the welfare, livelihood of the average Nigerian.
All right, so, Roy, look at it from the perspective of resources accruing to subnational government and interface it with the impact on the lives of the people as a major fear while we're seeing banditry, while we're seeing terrorism. Because you look at Zamfara State, it's on record that a former governor in that state, his actions and inactions encouraged banditry so severely in that state, and that's why it has degenerated to the level that it is now. Katsina State is not far from it. So do you want to encourage this to continue when that has been done in the past? It didn't work. People were negotiated with, they were granted amnesty, they came into the city, they were given vehicles, they were given offices, given responsibility.
But they were recruited into Nigeria.
They went back into their businesses, and even some who were recruited into armed forces, they now become the sources of divulging
spies,
official secrets and all of that. I need to put all of this together.
The power of negotiation,
yes,
cannot be overemphasized. It is easier for we to sit down very comfortable. I pray that nobody you know in life will be kidnapped. Then you will not be talking about negotiation. A friend of mine was kidnapped some time ago, and I know the pressure within the family framework. With the friends, all of us were bothered. Therefore, when you are in a comfort zone, you can say, no, don't talk about negotiation. For the governor to wake up and say, let's negotiate, and those negotiations are being facilitated by the people. The indigenous people are saying, we need negotiate with these persons. And they also have their own internal mechanism of even negotiating before the government intervenes. That's what the governor, these persons, we pay tax to them so that they enable us to go to farm. They were doing that so comfortable. Nigeria is an unusual society, and when we have approaches that work in other parts of the world might not necessarily work here. That is the truth. When my prof was saying America, there was a time America also negotiated with terrorists. They went to Iran, they brought their citizens back, they negotiated. America as of today have about over $900 billion for their defense for a year. How much is Nigeria voting? What is the entire budget of Nigeria? Then you are telling us we can cross there. We cannot cross because over the years we have not been able to cross anything. Crossing a lizard is a problem to us. We want to go across people that are being sophisticated. If negotiation will give us answer, we should negotiate. It is not because we have all it takes, but because of the lives that are being lost on a daily basis. How do you reconcile that President Obasanjo, who left government almost 20 years ago, is still talking about his own methodology he used? Or not to him that the society is evolving very fast. The method that we used, Yaradua used in Niger Delta, if you are using it today, it will not work because society is evolving. And not just evolving, and different things are happening. And that's the reason why people like Obasanjo won't take it serious on that statement. He's just saying it for saying, no, he cannot even implement it. For what we should do, the solution, I have also, my position have not changed. Now let's go down on the round table and talk to these persons. Now that we are aware of those who are financing them, let government start from there if we are serious. Not the people, the Musa who are in the bush. Not the Yoruba who are in the forest. That you are not saying, once you not go there and kidnap any of their relatives, they should not negotiate. You are not doing me any favor. You are not doing anybody a favor. Okay. The Nigerian government must demonstrate that serious capacity for the people to have that. When we are kidnapped, government will be there for us.
Prof,
I think. Okay,
yes,
sorry.
Yes, no, go on. I know you want to.
I think when we are talking about negotiation, we are not looking at it from individual perspective. We are looking at it from government, who is supposed to be the caretaker of the average Nigerian. Because recent events have also shown that kidnappers are not just, or terrorists, they are not just on their own. How can a stranger come to your forest, build tents in your forest, and from there they start picking your people one by one and deny them going to farm? Recent events have also shown, I don't want to mention names here, that some traditional rulers are even involved in terrorism. So as you are negotiating, a traditional ruler may come and say, "Oh, leave these people alone. They are our neighbors. We are all one Nigerian, and all that, and so on and so forth." We are also aware that some youth in the community are also involved, in kidnapping affairs in our various states. So how do you continue to negotiate? Because we have even seen a situation recently where some Nigerians have now formed a business of negotiator between them and the victims of terror. So it's not a business. So how long can we continue to encourage this? Because a stranger cannot come into your environment, and start to do all sorts of rubbish. So I think the way forward is to ensure that there should be laws, policy put in place. Forest guards should be put on alert that with time they should be going around the forests of the various states of the Federation. And no herdsmen should be allowed to be inside our forests. If they should go to ranches. That's the new. Okay. That's the modern. All right,
let's open our studio line so you can call and be part of the conversation on politics today on independent television and radio. Of course, the studio line is 080-7777-0300. Dial the studio number. Let's get your take. Roy, what's the expected impact of this insecurity challenge? To what extent will it influence 2027?
2027 is already a done deal. It's a done deal.
What do you mean it's a done deal? Maybe you have conducted the election in the realms of the spirit that some of us can't access.
No, it's a done deal in the sense that there's going to be a winner. That's what I mean when I say it's a done deal. Because the insecurity is a factor. If that is the reason why we are looking at 2027 election, these are some of the methodology that was used before. In 2014, people employed this kind of shenanigans. This mechanism will also employ that. Let us see how we can raise the level of insecurity to downplay the government that was in power then. And it worked for them. I don't see it working again because you can't continue to do things the same way and expect different results. This will not be able to change the narrative because even those who are there now, they know, they have the experience. Those who initiated what happened in 2014, they are the persons who are there. They are not the principal partners. Therefore, there is nothing that may likely be, nothing new will happen in Nigeria. It's something we are used to that will happen in 2027 because I'm not even seeing strong force from anywhere. We are just as we are. Nothing is going on. Individually, people are not happy, but collectively, we have not been able to take a stand. That's my own concern about the issue. Okay. When you want to fight, you should collectively be able to take a stand. Nigeria have not been able to take a stand collectively. Individually, we are all taking a stand, but that will not take us anywhere until we can make a statement collectively. It is on that I will know that 2027 is not a done deal. As for me, it's a done deal.
Well, right, yes. I think I have an idea what you meant by done deal, okay. but it's not the best, especially when we are in democracy. Where democracy is supposed to be competitive, whereby parties should interact with the people, and the people in turn will vote for the best quality of our candidates that will rule them. So that resources will not be stolen, so that the interests of the people will be protected. But what we are seeing, the scenario we are seeing right now is not the best, whereby the presidency, Tinubu government is forcing other parties to belong to APC. And when you do that, there's no democracy again. The democratic flavor has been removed, and in fact has evaporated, and we're no longer a democracy. And so if that is considered a done deal, I don't think it's the best because at the end of the day, you won't get the best. And so when politicians start to misbehave, including financing terrorists, they don't grumble because you don't allow competitive environment, political environment to occur, to take place. And so what you get politicians that are rascals in their way of doing things. And so it's not the best.
Yes, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling us from? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm very surprised that your presenter in the studio there, or your guest, is asking, is supporting the federal government negotiating with terrorists. scenario can we continue to negotiate with terrorists? That means you are indirectly saying these kidnapping cases that is going on, that people are negotiating, that it should continue. That is another kidnapping in disguise. That means you are negotiating with people that are coming to kill people in the farm. Okay, how are you they negotiate with them? Their weapons, their arms are still with them. And when they don't eat the money, they fall back to the business again. I'm very surprised that the man is asking federal government to negotiate.
No, he gave his reasons. He gave his reasons, just like you are advancing your reasons why we shouldn't negotiate with terrorists. He gave his opinion. He's entitled to his opinion.
When you see what is going on today in our society, such advice should not be given to the people, because it's totally wrong. Because when you keep on negotiating, they see it as a lucrative business, that they come up in different sects, in different names, just to extort the money from the government.
Okay.
The money which government wants to use to negotiate, they should channel that money to buy more arms to crush those bandits and those terrorists.
Okay.
So,
All right. Thank you for your views. Thank you for your views. Our first caller on the show saying monies for negotiations should be channeled into empowering our security agents with more sophisticated equipment and technology to deal decisively with these guys. But the interesting thing is that when a family member is kidnapped and the family is under pressure to have their loved one released, I'm sure they're not going to wait for the government and all of that, as is always the case. Anyways, studio line is still open, 080-7777-0300. Give us your name and where you're calling from, and then go ahead with your contribution. Hello, caller, good morning.
Good morning, my brother.
Yes, good morning, sir. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is JB Dennis, calling from Staple Road.
All right, JB Dennis, go ahead.
The first thing I want to quickly react to when you interview EJ Abdonema concerning the three ambassadors, those separation was close to one-sided.
Yes.
It's a pity situation. How can a three ambassador be one-sided, one secretarial district with all carry all of them? He makes so many appointments. Okay, for example, now the governor now reacted to all those things. Now they will say the governor is not party leader. It's a comfort. At least if a position come out like this, they're supposed to spread it into three districts so that there's not going to be a problem. Now, concerning the security, the kidnappers, for example, now if the guy there is very right, because if my child is there and under the kidnapping, then we are waiting. If the federal government cannot do anything, you are asking me not to pay that one. Because of the failure of the government, they cannot secure. That's why I see that people are paying those money. Not that they really have. Some of them have borrowed those money to go and pay kidnapping. Not that it's okay, but it's because of the situation. The area that I am facing, just like a Katsina State governor, say you want to grant amnesty to terrorists. And then you grant the amnesty before 3 months, then go back to the creek again. That is what I'm against. That's just my take this morning.
All right. Thank you, JB Dennis. Thank you. Our studio line is still open, 080-7777-0300. Tell us your name and where you're calling from, and go ahead with your contribution. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, my brother.
Yes, where are you calling us? What's your name?
Solomon Ataga.
Oh, Solomon Ataga, please go ahead.
From Land.
Yes, go ahead.
First, the first guest you interview, I want to beg Nigeria. This is not about when you are in my party, anything you do is right. This same Buhari he complained of. They were shouting hallelujah under Buhari, that Buhari is the best president. Nobody. When we enter this democracy as start, the blessed memory later Tony and Nene, they will be able to be calling the president in order, which is the ambassador, under the same party, when he did things that is not good. Today you came on here and said the president have increased the RGRO for the governor. We have Ministry of Work in this country. The past Minister of Work, Fashola, today have not been investigated. All the money that was pumped into the Ministry of Work. Today now, if I ask David Omai, the Minister of Work, how are you using the money? Can they give us? The revenue that increased, is the president visit each state, seeing the development so they can give evidence of that? The answer is no. He have never paid a visit to this state now. Talk less knowing how they are using it. They're coming to we are working. this cry will continue again because the governor is working as you said. The flyover now, if the people say, let's know the details, let's be transparent, can he tell us? After when he leave office now, you will now hear that it was also billion. Hey, it's too much. So these are the same problem we are. It's still like we are moving in one circle. Then for the issue of kidnapping, I believe the government have the power if really they want to fight them. We cannot negotiate with terrorists. Okay, can I come and form terrorists in Igwebe now? Disturbing the peace of the state, waiting for government to come and negotiate with me? No. Let's crash them. Who are these people? Are they more than our military, the police and all that, our air force? Are they more than us? What are the weapons they are using? Are they making the weapons for only them alone? So those are not, we don't really understand where we are.
All right. Thank you very much, Solomon Ataga. Our last caller on the program today. We also want to say big thanks to everyone who made a contribution to our conversation. Big thanks to Honorable E.G. Agmayuma, who joined us earlier. Comrade Oriaba, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having
Anthony
me.
Jure, thank you for
It's a
coming.
pleasure.
And to all our listeners and viewers, we appreciate you. To the crew behind the scene, making this a huge success, thank you so much. And I'm Sonny Duke Okos. We'll be here again next week, Saturday, God willing, for a fresh installment on the program Politics Today on Independent Television and Radio. Have a great weekend.
This is ITV.
Certainly the best.
ITV, certainly the best.
This is Aqua Game, a popular game in Africa played by our ancestors to entertain themselves after each day of farming. It is also relevant in our coronation in Africa. It is a sport and indeed very interesting, as every seed had a role in the game. Playtime is 45 minutes per set. There is no age limit as long as you can spin Aqua Seed. Ayo or Aqua Game, known as the game of intellectual. This game requires a lot of mathematical skills. Aqua Game is played with carved wooden box containing 12 holes.
Welcome to Market Survey, your weekly guide to the pulse of trade and daily living in Benin City. The festive season is traditionally a period of high demand and brisk sales in markets across the country. As families prepare for celebrations, traders often expect increased patronage and higher turnover. However, this season presents a different picture. While some goods are now selling at slightly reduced prices, the level of demand does not reflect the usual festive rush. On this edition of Market Survey, we examine how the festive season is affecting the prices of goods and the buying power of consumer.
How this December now they affect prices for markets?
They affect where don't they buy? Money no deal. Don't they buy? See yesterday I don't say. I just day. I don't say market no deal. Because of this, everybody keep on. I know about it. They keep on. They say they burn up. They know they say.
Now December we then everybody supposed they buy things.
December is supposed don't move. Everybody they boss, but they buy. But me now I don't. I got surprised. I don't know they buy. No market. Because of that last year now, everybody guys they laugh. But no, nothing. My body they pay me now because I never say.
What make you feel say the market they dance? But say now even December now we day.
Because what I say the 2 day. Because last year now all this open now they say 1, 2 everybody buy. Now 1.8. Who never see body eat? You go say one buy soap. I want somebody buy something. Go say one buy clothes. Now so the food got to eat. Go now wala. See fishy, everything.
So what do you feel say government fit do to make sales increase?
What say I say they fit do now? Make they help us. All this thing make it come down small. If it come down small, everybody. If you get like 3,000, I go not waiting want see bye. Everybody go see mileage. You go see say. You go see happy. Me this is 2 day. Me they help us carry down small. If carry everybody go see happy. You go see buy. I beg.
Market be how prices for things be?
Things for markets as it's been, so it's be. I don't see the difference. What it be say day. It will be like say the past itself. Because it will better pass this one. Way be say we say na December they call her. But then na January they call them. Me no call understand though.
So now things now not dey fair.
See now only rise where be say I feel say it drops more. The many things you see market now. This me they see people now. Not they see money. She's more in now. I share now look at the look. So I don't see how the Christmas they be my sister.
It affects sales. People they can't buy. People don't reduce.
Do you see people for market? I know they see anybody. If you even see person say don't go see money. As I share for yes this morning, I never would ever say one. May they take one for his side. I never should take one for his side. So the thing know the correct person say who even they market say who they have say better pass who they were busy with the market.
So what if you say with government do to take?
I bet if government be say they will fear us for this thing because the tea it not too much. May they bring prices, especially if diesel cheap. Many things go come down because the diesel not cheap. I be say person be say carry enough money now take go carry buy diesel go. I expect say the price go take cheap. Okay, let's say maybe for instance now they buy diesel of 30 liters now maybe like 30,000 now. Then you go somewhere that you go carry that one I no go carry you go come. You must buy another one. Then should be you call the price for what be say carry. So now make be say the thing they affect us. I beg, may they carry all those things that.
People they look how they meat be plenty for their eyes, but you know say everything where they so quantity and quality they. So some meat you get quality, that is why they cost. So when you not get quality now quantity, that's why it's still many but small money. So that is why I tell you say meat you not get normal price.
Even with different prices because of the different type of meat.
Yeah.
Overall, if you say the prices for all of them don't increase, they don't top money.
And the price now, increase as like before. The money they come down small. But the main problem with the person for market now, people not get money for their hand. Now manage with the manager. As he come meet also, just we sit down with the look for the meat. We don't see customer to seller. So we the wait for buyer now. I don't know whether you go buy many, carry and go your house. And as the country be now, money everybody they cry for money. That even the government they say money no day. So what of the where would they look for government? Make them bring the money for workers then go come meet us for market. That is the problem. Yes.
So now if you say now the solution is for government to release money, people come back.
Yes. Solution is there for the government. The only government release money, and so people don't go enter market. Everybody go get happy because the buyer and the seller, if the money no day, we are not happy. If you want to buy something, you not get money for your hand. Small thing go provoke you. If you want to sell, you know, see buyer. Small thing go provoke you. That is why the government release money. Everybody go there happy.
How the business?
They're fine, we thank God.
Now Christmas is now with this, so how prices for market be?
Prices for market good, things cheap. I must confess for that one. But market not there. Market not there at all. Since where we they do Christmas, this one is different. Market not there outside, no money. Things cheap, rice don't come down. Many things don't come down, but people where they buy and they're not there. Now I be waiting, we just pass through so now. By this time now, as it's morning, I sit down with day. No people they buy something. You know they sit there. They will say some will say the thing be good, but that money not rich, he not get money. We not gonna know what it costs that one. No.
But compared to last year Christmas and now, difference there.
Market not there, but something cheap.
What make you feel say market no? The way people not come they buy because this one is celebration time. People supposed come they buy things for house.
Many people say money not there. They say money not there. Now just be the problem where people they complain. Who want buy full bottle of oil? You go say you want to go for half. So maybe they look whether before the deadline, whether where that money hide, it go come and now we they hope so.
But if you say government do anything to take help this kind of situation so that people get money to come buy things for market.
As they bring things down, may government see help people, may that money whether it not reach for the workers we not know, may they see increase them for them. May we they see money. It is do now. Government try for this one.
Findings from our interview show a mixed situation this festive season. Although the prices of some goods have reduced compared to previous weeks, traders say demand remains low. Many sellers lament that customers are buying less despite the season, usually known for increased spending and higher sales. Rising living costs and reduced purchasing power have reduced the influence of consumer behavior, forcing many households to cut down on festive shopping. While the slight of drop in prices have brought some relief to buyers, traders say the lack of patronage is a major concern, especially during a period that should be profitable. As the festive season progresses, both sellers and consumers continue to adjust to economic realities shaping market activities. As findings from the interview clearly show, the festive season has brought a noticeable reduction in the prices of some goods. Under normal circumstances, such a development would lead to increased buying and heightened price activity. However, this season tells a different story. Despite the drop in prices, traders say patronage remains low. Many customers now approach the market with caution, carefully selecting what to buy and limiting their purchases to small quantities. The usual festive rush, marked by bulk buying and steady sales, has largely been absent. For many traders, the situation has been both frustrating and worrying. The festive period is traditionally seen as a time to make profit, recover earlier losses, and prepare for the new year. This year, however, traders say they spend long hours waiting for customers, often selling far less than expected by the end of the day. Some sellers say they have reduced prices repeatedly in an effort to attract buyers, sometimes selling at very slim margins. Others express concern over unsold goods, especially items that are perishable, as the risk of spoilage continues to threaten their livelihood. This shift in spending behavior has had a direct impact on demand. Even with reduced prices, the lack of disposable income means that lower costs alone are not enough to stimulate increased buying. Traders say the gap between prices and purchasing power remains wide. As the festive season progresses, the mood in the market reflects this reality. While there is some level of activity, it falls short of the vibrant atmosphere usually associated with this period. The excitement of festive sales has been replaced by cautious transaction and measured spending. In the end, the situation highlights a broader economic challenge. Reduced prices may offer temporary relief, but without improved consumer purchasing power, demand is likely to remain low. For now, the traders continue to adjust to the realities of the season, navigating a festive period that is traditionally joyful but economically restrained.
So we've heard from traders and consumers here in the market that prices of goods are now affordable compared to last time. But the only problem is that there is no money to come and purchase for this festive season. And that's all on today's episode of Market Survey. I am Stephanie Notoriua. Many thanks for staying tuned.
ITV, certainly the best.
In the evening of the initiation day, all the newly initiated Edion danced to the residents of the Odion Way and also visited some homes of the various senior elders, where Chief Elder Ogbeide Onwonse was very conspicuous, especially at the country home of Sir Chief Dr. Gabriel Osaro Igbenedion with his family on the night of the initiation. On the following morning, as part of the rite to be performed by the newly initiated Edion in Okada town, the initiates, led by Chief Elder Ogbeide Onwonse, visited the Esama of Benin, Sir Chief Dr. Gabriel Osaro Igbenedion, at his Okada country home residence to pay homage and appreciate him for all he has done in the development of the community, which has placed Okada in world map. They also thanked him for his role in the success of their ceremony. They commended the Esama of Benin as a custodian of Benin cultural heritage and for revitalizing the age-long tradition of the age-grade ceremony.
Il cammino, meglio in
Omonomba Nedo Ukwakbalokbolo Ewai II, Oba of Benin, performing during the 2025 Ododua Festival. Ododua Festival is unique as it was organized in honor of Ioba Omoni Hwoyeme, Ioba Ewai II, as part of activities for her burial rites. The rich traditions and cultural heritage of the Benin Kingdom were showcased when His Royal Majesty Ewai II engaged the floor to perform during Ugie Ododua in the palace ground in Benin City. In the dance performance, the Ogbelaka Royal Drummers supplied the needed impetus and rhythm for the dance. However, tributes are paid by the head of Benin deities to the monarch, who was the cynosure at the event. The event can best be imagined as the spiritual rejuvenation, stunned, spectaculars and guests at the colorful ceremony. 7 masquerades representing 7 spirits and deities conveyed different meaning in company with the head of the deities of Benin, with the Oba of Benin, who exhibited a grand cultural dexterity in his dance steps.
This is Anegbete community, situated in Isako Central Local Government Area of Edo State. It is an agrarian community with united people that promotes unity and oneness for peaceful coexistence. The inhabitants of the community migrated from Benin, the cradle of black civilization, a kingdom where king is truly king. The ancestors of Anegbete saw that age was the main determinant of leadership in the rural setting, and the eldest man in the settlement was regarded as the leader who presided over meetings, and his authority is held in high esteem. To further strengthen this unique system of leadership, age group evolved in Anegbete. In Anegbete, age group is categorized into two, that is, the common and the noble. Anegbete is rich in cultural heritage, as the community at noon saw the commitment of the festival with the first set rolled out in beauty colors to showcase their might and strength, indicating their feet and ready for the responsibilities behold on them. The streets in the community with a feed up of young men and women adorned with the festival. Later, the royal family takes the stage as their children fight out royally and work in the community to showcase their might and fitness.
My leader. ITV, certainly the best.
Hello viewers, welcome to Viewpoint on ITV. I am Caroline Okonji, and it is that program that gives you and I opportunity to talk about some of the trending issues in the country and how it affects us as citizens. So today we're going to be talking about the withdrawal of police personnel from very important personalities in the country and how it's going to be affecting us as individuals, or better still, how it's going to impact us as citizens. And then again, the debates on legalizing gun ownership. So let's go talk to some persons and hear what they have to say in regards to this topic. It is Viewpoint on ITV. I am Caroline Okonji.
The Nigeria security architecture, I think it is a very, very wrong approach at this time. When you talk about developed countries and thinking of how police operate, the environments are not the same. First, we do not have good roads. That when you call for police in an emergency response, if it's like in the developed countries, you see police appearing within minutes. You hear of cases of assassinations in places like America. It's only a matter of days they will find the killers of those people. Those are not the situations in Nigeria. People kidnap people in their houses, people kill people on the way, they don't even know who the killers are. The only thing too that also makes some of these people not to be on the road is the simple reason that when they know that there are escorts following some VIPs and some people on the way, they know that it's possible that at some point they will see unexpected police presence. But when they now get to the point where they now say, no, they cannot go with police and then the road is free and all that, you are only inviting terror back to us. If I'm traveling on the way and I know I'm licensed to have a gun in my car, some other persons are coming, and maybe we run into hoodlums, and they know that out of these 20 cars, there's a likelihood that 15 to 16 have arms in them. That will also create that sense of security for the people that are involved. So I just think that it is, yes, the idea to say let's have police at different points is there, but the architecture and infrastructure to support such an idea, we don't have it yet. You don't have drones flying everywhere. If you are overseas, you press a button in your house, they know it is emergency. The police will come, condone of your area, and the people cannot even escape. The police right now, as they are, first, they are no vehicles, they are not well equipped, so how do you even do it? I think that the decision by Mr. President needs to be reviewed.
I see it as a right development based on this issue that the President has made concerning police should be withdrawn from notable personalities that are in our society. You discover that for the police to be able to combat insecurity, we have less police in the society. Most of all these notable personality, you just discover that one person will be having 10 police. 10 police. If one particular person is having a police, about 10 attached to him, and the common man has no security to be attached to him, he has no security to be attached to him, then what is the fate of the masses? But to my own take, with this direction, this step that the President has taken, that all police officials, army and the officials should be withdrawn from notable personality, is a welcome development, so that these officers will be able to go to the city, go to the street, go to the rural area to be able to combat these bandits. Because if all this caliber of men, notable personality, are be giving policemen policemen are attached to them, it will not be a wake-up development. But if they withdraw them, everyone, all hands will now be on deck to fight insurgency, to fight bandits. But when these men are secured, they will feel less concerned about the masses. I believe that with this step that the President has taken is a very good step, so that security for lives and property concerning the common man will be appreciated. On these aspects, it has advantage and it also have disadvantage. It is good for people to have self-defense against this insecurity. But the other way around, when every man is given that license to get a gun or harm himself against attack, sometimes most people will not use it for self-protection, but rather they will begin to use it for destructive activities, like going into using it to embark on armed robbery and different. If somebody offends somebody, he can just bring out his gun and do killing. That is why it will not be encouraged. But the only advantage for the government is that let them employ more hands. Let them get more securities. People, recruit them, train them, tell them what to do, the rules and the dons that will govern their security apparatus. All these things should be put in place. Then with more and being employed and well paid, I believe that with all this, they can be able to contain this insurgency and bandits in our country.
We all know that the constitutional role of the police is the protection of lives and property. And like the president has rightly stated, the protection of lives of Nigerians are very paramount. And like the VIPs are still part of the citizens that the police is constitutionally empowered to protect. But you also realize from where the president is coming from, these VIPs form more or less like less than 10% of the larger population of Nigerians. And in that light, he feels that more attention should be given to the masses, to the larger population of Nigeria who are now faced with the challenges of insecurity, while also trying to address the manpower need of the Nigerian police. So in that regard, I totally support that directives that all available manpower now should be channeled towards the protection of the majority of Nigerians outside the VIPs that took a chunk of that number. Looking at on the rights of Nigerians to own guns, I still believe that Nigeria is not yet ripe enough for such. Even countries where they have such policies, they are trying to go back. If you see what's going on in America now, they are even trying to look at gun rights laws to see how they can be reviewed. So it's not a policy that has worked or that has been sustained in even where it is currently in force. So for Nigeria, it is not just our only gun that will solve the problem of insecurity. I can tell you, with the kind of anger, with the kind of issues we have now, if Nigerians own guns, they will be using it to settle personal scores, not even the insecurities now. So that might not really solve the problem. I think solving the problem, we need to go into community policing, volunteer security, seeing how well we can domesticate security, make security the duty of everybody, not necessarily a centralized arm of government like you have the centralized police now. So with that, I believe we can substantially bring down, if not to a barest minimum, the current challenges we have now. So it's not really whether we carry guns or not that would solve it, no.
It is a very good thing that the president is actually looking at how he can, curb security by having a lot of, security personnel on ground. But, if you have to fight insecurity by creating another level of insecurity, that's a very big problem, all right? Yes, we know that the VIPs have a lot of this, security escort with them. But if you look at this person too, they are human beings. And, somebody who has that kind of, level of position requires some level of security, around him. So for me, I will not, totally say that it is okay to withdraw all the, security personnel from the VIP. No, I do not think that's the best way to go. Instead, I think they should look for a way to have more persons in the force, in the military, in the police, and every other security agencies that can help, in this insecurity. Because the VIP are human beings. The right to own a gun, I really do not think that Nigeria is matured for such a thing. Yes, we have that in some developed countries like America, but I do not, advise that such law should be put here in Nigeria, because a lot of persons are going to take advantage of this particular, situation, and they use it to do other very, very, malicious activities. So I do not believe that Nigeria is ripe for, self-ownership of gun at this particular point in time.
Insecurity in Nigeria has eaten so deep into the life and well-being of Nigerians. Like in the area of business, it has affected us a lot. Like, for example, those our mothers who travel to village markets in this season of December, where they travel to buy plantain, yams, and others. We see many of them were unable to do this because of the insecurity. And that has also affected their own family because they will not be able to provide for them because they were unable to do their business the way it ought to be. Like those of us in the real estate sectors, I think it affected us the more because this is one of the most funny December I've ever experienced, whereby our brothers and sisters in diaspora, they are scared to return home to celebrate with us. And after they have saved this money, and they buy property at the end of the year, so that at least they will not count on one thing that they have achieved. But this time, many of them, they give up. Instead of coming to Edo State or or Nigeria to buy property, you will hear them saying that they want to go to places like Singapore, places like Spain. They will tell you the money they will use to buy property in Abuja, like maybe 350 million, 150 million, 200 million, is enough for them to get property in Spain. And that property in Spain will give them high return of investment than the property in Nigeria. And another thing that affected those in diaspora and the VIPs, let me use that word, very important personalities in our country, is the new law that has been passed by the president that police personnel should be withdrawn from this set of persons. And you know, the current situation of insecurity in Nigeria, so these persons, they will not be free to come in, because it's as if them coming in, they have signed their death sentence because the security is a threat to them. And at the same time, the police personnel that would have been of assistance to them to guide them is being withdrawn. So it's just as if they want to jump into a hot fry pan. So these ones is what stopped them from not coming to Nigeria, and it affected our business a lot. So those persons we are all to care for, these things restrict us to do a lot for our loved ones. Because if you don't sell property to get money, so there's no way you are going to spend money. So if you check, though we are having traffic and all these around, but the truth is that the well-being, the lifestyle of these our citizens is being compromised because insecurity has cost them a lot. If the guns is being legalized to every citizen, it's going to cause more havoc at this initial stage. So I believe instead of legalizing gun to individuals, let's recruit more local security personnel that understand this terrain of this environment, because a stranger will not know my community more than me. So if they empower these personnel, give them good sophisticated weapon that they can use to withstand these perpetrators, the criminals, it will be able to at least help us a lot. So owning a gun or legalizing gun to Nigerians, you know, Africans, there's a way we think. Even some of the trained policemen that they are handling weapons, we see what happens after some of them have taken what they are not supposed to take. After when their adrenaline get high, when they are angry, we see how they misuse the gun. So now legalizing gun for a trained person, a civilian, is going to cause more havoc and disaster to us. So I'm not in support of that.
While the opinions of our respondent varies, and some think that the statement by the president to withdraw police personnel from VIPs in the country in order to combat crime, some are also saying that it is not a welcome development. But in all of this, the security of citizens and properties should be a priority. That is what people are clamoring for, and it is something that should be done in order for lives and property of citizens to be secured and for security to be guaranteed. It is Viewpoint on ITV. I am Caroline Okonji. Many thanks for watching.
ITV, certainly the best.
The Ugewe is the final ceremony of the series of festivals. It is one.
The man went out to bring in thugs to come and beat her.
Yeah.
In a situation like that, do you think women would have seen that and still want to speak?
Really, we're talking about. That's what I said. So when they bullied her,
Yeah.
now, if she's not bold enough, she will shut up.
What is your advice for girls out there that are so desperate to be married?
We women, we have to be really intentional about our parenting.
If you know a child is being abused, or you see signs, a bruise or a child, it has to be investigated.
People barely even breathe when they are going for a shrebi and something. You have to be
They can't
smart.
sit
If
down.
you see when they are dressing them up or dragging on both sides, you cannot breathe. And these women would stay in those events for hours just to keep up with that beauty trend.
It's not healthy.
That's not healthy.
I am Patricia Uremu Gabriels, and we're reaching you live from our Lagos Network studio. Of course, Women in Conversation is a program designed for women to discuss about themselves.
Some days, there comes the Ugemobo Festival, which the Oba celebrates outside the palace gate. A pavilion is built of red cloth where rites are performed to drive away all evil spirits still unsatisfied by the year's sacrifices. The Emobo Festival is to commemorate an event in Benin history which dates back to 1504 AD.